I never believed in local legends. Every town has them. Whispers about haunted places, cursed woods, or restless spirits. I always thought they were just stories people told to scare kids. That was before I spent one night in the old Harper house. It started as a dare from my friend Kyle. He knew I was into exploring abandoned buildings for fun, filming them for my small YouTube channel. "Come on," he said, smirking. "Black Hollow Road, Harper House. Spend the night there, record it, post it, you'll blow up." I laughed it off, but the truth was, the idea tempted me. The Harper House was infamous. Boarded up windows, broken roof, the kind of place you could feel watching you from the street. People said the last family vanished in 1997. Just gone. No signs of struggle, doors locked from the inside. The police report claimed it was unexplained disappearance. The locals said something else, that the house kept the family, that it still needed more. I went alone. Kyle chickened out last second. Figures. It was already late evening when I pulled up. The sun was dipping behind the trees, casting long shadows over the rotting porch. My car sat at the end of the dirt driveway, the engine ticking as it cooled. Inside, the air was heavy, like the walls were holding their breath. Every step creaked under my boots. My flashlight cut through layers of dust floating in the stale air. The first hour, nothing happened. I explored the ground floor, kitchen with rusted appliances, living room with a couch eaten away by time, stairs leading up into darkness. I set up my camera on a tripod in the main hall, speaking into it. "Okay, this is night one, Harper House. Noises in the background are just the wind, I think." Around 9 p.m., I heard it. Footsteps, upstairs. I froze. They were slow, deliberate, like someone was trying to be quiet but failing. My mind raced. Maybe an animal? Another trespasser? I gripped my flashlight and headed for the stairs. Every step I took up, the sound stopped. When I reached the top, the hallway stretched into shadow. Doors lined the walls, bedrooms, maybe, all closed except one at the very end, hanging slightly open. I approached, my heart pounding in my ears. I pushed the door open. It was a child's bedroom. Wallpaper peeling, bed frame rusted, a toy car sitting in the middle of the floor. And then it rolled. By itself. I backed away, not taking my eyes off it. That's when I heard whispering. Faint, like it was coming from the walls. I couldn't make out the words. I stumbled back into the hall, breathing hard. The whispering stopped, but at the end of the hallway, a figure stood. A small girl. She was pale, wearing a faded yellow dress, hair hanging over her face. She didn't move. I blinked and she was gone. I told myself I was imagining things, that my mind was playing tricks, but when I went back downstairs, my camera was no longer on the tripod. It was on the floor, still recording. The footage showed me leaving. Then nothing. The frame stayed still for about 5 minutes before something stepped into view. Just a shadow, tall, broad-shouldered, standing in front of the camera, not moving. Then, slowly, it leaned forward until its face should have been in frame, but the screen stayed black. I didn't touch the camera again. By midnight, the wind outside howled. Every creak of the house felt louder. I set up my sleeping bag in the corner of the living room, flashlight at my side. That's when the banging started. From the basement. It was rhythmic. 3 knocks, pause, 3 knocks, over and over. My skin crawled. I didn't want to go down there, but the noise kept going, louder each time. The basement door was at the far end of the kitchen. I gripped the handle. It was ice cold. The hinges screamed as I pulled it open, revealing a steep staircase into pitch black. Halfway down, the smell hit me. Damp earth, something metallic. My flashlight beam shook as I reached the bottom. The basement was small, just stone walls and dirt floor. But in the center was a wooden chair, and in the chair, rope tied loosely, swaying slightly. Before I could process, the basement door slammed shut above me. I bolted up the stairs, throwing my shoulder into the door until it burst open. I ran into the kitchen and stopped dead. The layout of the house had changed. The kitchen was gone. In its place was a narrow hallway stretching into darkness. I could hear footsteps at the other end. I followed, slowly, the hallway, twisting unnaturally, like it was getting longer. The walls felt closer. My flashlight flickered, and in that strobe of light I saw them. People. Dozens of them lining the hallway, faces pale and empty-eyed, mouths slightly open. I recognized one of them. from a photo in a newspaper clipping I'd seen online. The father from the Harper family. I stumbled backward, and they all turned their heads toward me in unison. The light died completely. In the darkness, a voice whispered in my ear, "You're staying." When my flashlight came back on, I was in the living room again. My sleeping bag was gone. The camera was gone. But near the fireplace was my car key. I ran. Out the front door, across the porch, into the night. My car was still there. I jumped in, turned the ignition, and the headlights lit up the front of the house. In the upstairs window, the girl in the yellow dress was watching me. I drove until I saw streetlights again. I swore I'd never go back. But last night, I found something on my phone. A new video, one I didn't record. It's me, sleeping in my bed. The footage is from inside my room. And at the end, the girl in the yellow dress leans into frame.